Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. The information in this overview comes from Lex Fridman's podcast, episode number 490, which was published on January 31st. It featured two machine learning researchers, Nathan Lambert and Sebastian Rashka. Now, in traditional Lex Fridman style, this was a very long episode, coming in at 4.5 hours. Here, we're going to summarize the most important parts of this brainy interview in less than 10 minutes. At the AI for Career Success video overview, we teach you more in less time.
So, to set the stage, the experts on the podcast really emphasize that the pace of AI development has become incredibly intense. It's created this high-stakes competitive environment that's not just fast, but constantly accelerating.
This incredible acceleration raises a really critical strategic question, not just for professionals, but for entire nations. In this global AI race, who is actually winning? As you'll see, the answer isn't as simple as you might think. To really get to the bottom of this, we're going to explore 4 key areas. First, the new competitive dynamic that's really shaking up the field. Second, we'll decode the core technologies that are fueling this race. Third, we'll look at how all this impacts professionals like you. And finally, we'll give our verdict on who's currently leading the pack.
Okay, let's begin with the competitive landscape. You see, the entire dynamic of AI competition was reshaped by a single pivotal event.
That event was what the experts called the DeepSeek moment. This is when a Chinese company released a model with performance that was nearly state-of-the-art. And that single release kicked off an absolute explosion of similar, powerful models from other Chinese tech companies.
So what made this so significant? Well, it's that DeepSeek and its successors are what we call open-weight models. This is a fundamentally different approach compared to the closed, proprietary systems that are so common among the leading labs here in the United States.
This table really illustrates that strategic divide perfectly. You have US labs like OpenAI and Anthropic who monetize their models directly through paid APIs and software. But then you have the Chinese labs, who are using these open-weight models to gain global influence and adoption, especially in markets where US companies might be hesitant to operate due to security concerns.
Okay, now that we understand the strategic playing field, let's dive into the technology itself. Because to really grasp the competition, we need to understand the technical arsenal each side is deploying.
Modern AI training has evolved into a pretty sophisticated 3-stage pipeline. We've moved far beyond just simple pre-training. Now, there are these specialized mid-training and post-training phases, and each one is designed to refine the model and unlock totally new capabilities.
And here's what's really important to grasp. While pre-training is still absolutely essential for building that foundational knowledge, the most significant performance gains, the big research breakthroughs, are now happening in that final stage, in post-training.
A key technique in this phase is something called RLVR, or reinforcement learning with verifiable rewards, which was really popularized by DeepSeek. It's a clever method that dramatically improves a model's ability to perform tasks that have clear, verifiable outcomes, like writing functional code or solving complex math problems.
Underpinning all of this are scaling laws. This is the fundamental principle that bigger models, trained on more data with more compute, just get predictably smarter. But what's new is that labs are now applying this scaling logic not just to pre-training, but to post-training and even the inference stage to squeeze out every last drop of performance.
So this intense technological development isn't just some academic exercise. It has a direct and sometimes pretty surprising impact on the professional workforce. For instance, let's look at software development. Who would you guess benefits more from AI assistance? Junior developers just starting out or seasoned senior developers? The answer might not be what you expect.
What's really fascinating is that data from a recent survey of professional developers shows that senior developers are actually shipping more AI-generated code than their junior colleagues. This finding really challenges some common assumptions.
So why is this happening? Well, the reasoning suggests that experts are simply more effective at using these new tools. They know precisely what to ask for, they have the skills to critically evaluate the results, and they know exactly where to apply AI for the biggest strategic impact. It basically becomes a force multiplier for their existing expertise.
So, after reviewing the competitive landscape, the technology, and its impact on professionals, what can we really conclude about the state of the global AI race?
While the experts conclude that the field is currently defined by leapfrogging, one lab will release a new best-in-class model only to be overtaken by a competitor just weeks or months later. It's this continuous cycle of one-upmanship.
So the key takeaway here is that there really isn't a clear long-term winner. This intense competition has actually created a virtuous cycle of innovation, where ideas from both open and closed models spread rapidly and elevate the entire field.
And this leaves us with a final, provocative thought. In a competitive environment that's defined by constant change, rather than a final destination, the key to success isn't about reaching some finish line. It's really about continuous learning and strategic adaptation.
Thank you so much for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please feel free to use the QR code at the beginning or end of this video to buy us a coffee. We also encourage you to subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. And please like, comment, and share this video. It really helps us reach a wider audience.